Good afternoon, folks. This afternoon's topic A is the loneliest Americans. That's the topic. Key findings. Overall, rise in loneliness. The survey shows a clear upward trend. 40% of adults aged 45 and older reported loneliness in 2025, compared to 35% in both 2018 and 2010. This suggests that loneliness is not uh, persisting but intensifying over time. Survey scope conducted by AARP with the PIS the PISOS. The study surveyed over 3,000 U.S. residents aged 45 and older, making it one of the more comprehensive looks at midlife and older adult loneliness. Who the survey identifies as most lonely: adults in their 40s, nearly half, 49% of those aged 45 to 49 reported loneliness, making this age bracket as the most vulnerable. Never married individuals, about 62% of respondents who had never married described themselves as lonely, underscoring the protective role of long-term partnerships. Not working and low-income households, loneliness was especially high among those not employed. 57%, and those with household incomes below 25,000, 63%, pointing to the intersection of economic insecurity and social isolation. Gender differences. Men reported greater loneliness than women, 42% versus 37%, and were more likely to say they had no close friends. A reversal from earlier surveys where women reported slightly higher loneliness. How loneliness was measured. Perceived versus actual loneliness. The study distinguishes between self-reported feelings of loneliness and a more structured measure using the UCLA loneliness scale, which asks 20 questions such as how often do you feel left out, or how often do you feel that people are around you but not with you? This dual approach highlights both subjective experience and the measurable social disconnection. At, at that age, we're so busy with work and raising children and being part of the sandwich generation that we're not able to really invest in the relationships that can help sustain us and make us happy. Deborah Whitman, AARP. Why midlife shows higher loneliness, life pressures. The 40 and 50s are described as crucial transition period. Many adults are balancing caregiving for children and aging parents, managing demanding careers, and navigating shifting social networks. These pressures leave little time to nurture friendships or build new ones. The U-shaped happiness curve. Researchers often describe happiness across the lifespan as U-shaped, higher youth, dipping in midlife, and rising again in later years. Loneliness fits this curve, peaking during midlife before easing as people age and reprioritizing relationships. What this implies? Loneliness is not just solitude. The findings emphasize that loneliness is about quality of life or quality of connection, not simply being alone. People can feel isolated. Even when surrounded by family, co-workers, or acquaintances. Groups needing support. Middle-aged adults, never married, individuals, those out of work, and people with low incomes are particularly at risk. These groups may benefit most from community programs, workplace initiatives, and policy interventions designed to strengthen social ties. Broader social implications. Rising loneliness among midlife adults signals potential downstream effects on mental health, physical health, and even economic productivity. Addressing it requires not only individual coping strategies, but systematic approaches, such as affordable caregiving support, workplace flexibility, and community building initiatives. In short, the survey paints a picture of loneliness as a structural and cultural issue, not just a personal one. It highlights how midlife pressures, economic insecurity, and gendered social patterns converge to make certain groups of Americans especially vulnerable to isolation. Okay, folks, that's A for you. I'll be back on with B shortly. Give me a little bit for B, please, and I'll be back on with that for you. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.